nursing care of victim and family. Forensic nursing is a new and evolving discipline in the nursing profession, being the being the largest number among healthcare personnel. The nurse are an important resource to the application of forensic nursing in healthcare. Nurses employed in the emergency hospital care setting already possess certain skills related to forensic science, such as evidence collection and preservation. However, nurses must possess certain physical aspect. The essential care for a forensic nurse is to provide the need-based physical care of the victim. Physical aspect. The essential care for a forensic nurse is to provide the need-based physical care of the victim. Custodial emergency care. Depending on the type of injury or illness, the nurse has to support with prompt nursing care such as assessment of vital signs and assuring intervention as ordered. Conduct or assist during forensic examination. As the primary care provider, the nurse has a pivotal role in forensic examination of the victim. The following principles have to followed while conducting or assisting during forensic examination: obtaining written informed consent, accurately recording the history of the incident including types of violence or injury, per the area of involvement. Head to toe assessment with special focus on the trace evidence such as fingernail scraping. Psychosocial aspect. The psychosocial care of the victim is an essential role of the forensic nurse to meet the emotional and social need. The acronym answer to LIVES: listen, inquire, validate, enhance safety or support. Cultural and spiritual aspect. The forensic nurse has a role to provide culturally and spiritually congruent care for the victim. Understand the cultural identity. Legal. Susmita Patra. Hi. Comprehensive forensic nursing care during admission and discharge, referral, death of the victim of violence. The forensic nurses has an extended role during admission of the victim and death of the victim of violence. Collect a proper history regarding the circumstance surrounding the incident, including the death of the victim after admission to the healthcare setup. Appropriately collect the available biological and physical evidence during the admission period. Collect available evidence. Generally, forensic cases are admitted through the court system, therefore, ensure the presence of a legal representative such as a police personnel during forensic admission. Every nursing care during the stay should be directed based on the admission order. Maintain accurate information of the victim during and hospital staying, including their belongingness. Accurate information. Ensure the discharge of the victim after obtaining the discharge summary. Affirm that all the belongingness and personal inventories are handed over to the victim. The death of the victim of violence must be certified by the concerned doctor in charge. It should be timely intimated and delivered. of the nurse as a witness. Ethical issue related to forensic nursing. Human right issue protecting patient right against physical or chemical restraint, protection of patient right of research subject, use of experimental treatment or equipment with patient consent, end of life treatment decision, treating or discriminating against patient or family wishes, acting against religious practice, ordering or performing too many procedures, using or removing life support, resuscitate or not to resuscitate without knowing the patient wish, determining when death occurred, mm, procuring or disturbing organ or tissue for transplantation. Patient care Patient care issue, conflict in nurse physician or other professional relationship, neglect in reporting the child or elder abuse, participating in abortion or fertility treatment against your conscience, autonomy or informed consent or confidentiality, ignoring patient or family autonomy, defamation of the duty of keeping confidentiality, disclosure of the conflict of interest, commitment to colleagues, exchange of information regarding the patient, partnership among forensic nurses and other professionals with same interest to eliminate threat to health and justice, taking credit for others' contribution, disrespect the colleagues and share their idea with others. Subspecialties, role and responsibilities of forensic nurse. Forensic examination, collection and preservation of the evidence, scientific investigation of death, identifying elder or child safety of living and deceased victims' body is a priority. Assisting in development of evidence-based policy and procedure, training and continuing education and violence prevention. Violence is an extreme form of aggression that has severe physical harm, like serious injury or death, as its goal. According to Wiseman and Taylor, 2006, violence is an extreme form of aggression that has severe physical harm, like serious injury or death, as its goal. Type of violence: depending on the impact of violence, there are broadly three types of violence: interpersonal আর হচ্ছে collective. Self-directed violence is when violence turns to self, such as suicidal act and self-abusive behavior. Interpersonal violence is the second type of violence that affect a small group of individuals, such as intimate partner violence, rape, child abuse, and elder abuse. Collective violence committed by a larger group of individuals, such as terrorist act and MOB violence. Type of violence event 9 types होते पारे: homicide, suicide, terrorism. Homicide, suicide, assault, intimate partner violence, terrorism, war, workplace violence, তারপর হচ্ছে child abuse or sexual assault. Homicide, suicide, assault, intimate partner violence, terrorism, war, workplace violence, child abuse আর হচ্ছে sexual assault. Violence is a leading cause of death among people aged 15 to 44 years worldwide. Women and children are highly vulnerable to domestic violence. All injury resulting from violent act are analyzed using three phases of event: pre-event, event, or post-event. Post-event and three factor: human factor, agent factor, or environmental factor. According to WHO study, 15 থেকে 71% women stated violence by partner. 24 থেকে 40% of women reported that their first sexual experience was without consent. 4 to 12% of women delineated domestic violence when they were bearing a child. Suicide is among the top causes of death globally. Source of data. Sources of data on violence come from following: survey research, data from clinical setting, non-governmental organization NCRB, National Crime Research Bureau, National Crime Record Bureau, আর হচ্ছে Census of child sexual abuse. Child sexual abuse is the involvement of a child in any form of sexual activity that the child does not fully understand. It may be any form of like fondling, in through phone, or any electronic media, stalking, any form of exhibitionism, showing pornographic content to a child, using the child to make pornographic material, masturbation, etc. According to WHO, child sexual abuse is the involvement of a child in sexual activity that he or she does not fully understand, is unable to give informed consent to, or for which the child is not developmentally prepared and cannot give consent, or that violate the law or social taboo of society. According to US Center for Disease Control and Prevention, child sexual abuse is any complete or attempted sexual act, sexual or exploitation of a child by caregiver. Physical and behavioral sign of sexually abused child. Undergoing sexual abuse in childhood is a traumatic affair. It can have an impact on a person's thinking, action, and feeling enduring a lifetime, leading to physical and psychological health issues. A sexually abused child is likely to exhibit any of the following signs: physical sign, pain, bruises, or evidence of bleeding in the genital area; difficulty in walking or sitting; blood-stained undergarment; recurrent UTI; presence of sexually transmitted disease; pregnancy at a younger age. Behavioral sign: poor peer relation, poor familiar relation with parents, siblings, lack of socialization, playing fearful, poor self-esteem, avoiding any group activity, nightmares, bedwetting, thumb sucking, sudden changes in behavior, poor academic performance, substance abuse, suicidal tendency. Prevention and control of child abuse, education and awareness, self-defense, support for victim, role of government. The strategy for prevention and control of child abuse include educational awareness, self-defense, support victim and role of government. Education and awareness, creating awareness and education act as primary prevention of child sexual abuse. Parents or caregiver of the child should speak to the child regarding sexual abuse and the personal and sexual safety.